Hi everyone, I'm Z from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you a cool girl doll. This doll is made up of the main part, overalls and decorative accessories. The main part includes the boots, legs, body, arms and head. The decorative accessories include the hair, facial features, belt, etc. Start with crocheting the main part, then attach and secure the other decorative accessories. First, let's learn the crochet method for the arms. Let's take a look at the chart. In the chart, our plus number indicates the round number. The column labeled Stitch Instructions shows the stitch techniques needed for crocheting that particular round, including where to increase or decrease stitches. The Total Stitches column shows the total number of stitches after completing all the stitches for that round. The stitch techniques used are single crochet, SC2-in-1 and DC3 bobble. Next, please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. For easier viewing, I will demonstrate using thick cotton yarn in a different color. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Since we're crocheting in spirals, the rounds can be hard to tell apart, so it's important to mark the first stitch while crocheting. So before you start crocheting, cut a piece of yarn in a color different from your arm, about 15 centimeters long. Then, take 2-3 strands and set them aside. Then cast on. The mister in the chart means the adjustable magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand and wrap it around your left index finger twice. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger once. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Move the loop to between your left thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert the hook into the loop. Position the hook to the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There is now 1 loop on your hook. Make 1 chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is now completed. The magic ring is now done. Now let's start the first round. R1 is 6 single crochets. The number before the X tells you how many single crochets to make. Here it means to work 6 single crochets into the magic ring loop. Start with the first stitch. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are now 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again. Pull through both loops at once. 1 single crochet is now completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there's a V-shaped pair of strands. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Each stitch represents 1 loop. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull through both loops on the hook at once. The second single crochet is now completed. In total, you need to crochet 6 single crochets in the first round. Continue crocheting the remaining stitches. 3. 4, 5, 6. Now, the stitch pattern in the chart is completed. Once completed, close the magic ring. First, gently stretch the loop, to prevent the loops from slipping off. Move the completed part to the right side. There are 2 loops in total. Gently pull the cast on yarn tail. Pay attention, don't pinch the inner loop here. 1 loop is moving. Tighten the moving loop. Only 1 loop is left. Simply pull the yarn tail tight. The loop is now closed, because the spiral crochet method is used. So for each round, just crochet the corresponding stitch pattern in the chart. This way, the first round is done. Move on to round 2. R2 is V, 5x. V stands for SC2 in 1. The number before V indicates how many SC2 in 1 stitches to work in a round. Here there's no number before V, which means you make 1 SC2 in 1 by default. A SC2 in 1 means working 2 single crochets into the same stitch. First, make 1 single crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left, which is the first stitch. If you're unsure where the first stitch is, count back 6 stitches from the last one. Before working, you need to mark the position of the first stitch. Take the prepared yarn tail. Place the yarn tail between the first stitch and the last stitch, and on top of the crocheted line. When crocheting, place the starting yarn tail above the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. Like this, the first stitch is now marked. Once completed, continue in the same stitch. Crochet 1 more single crochet. Like this, the SC2 in 1 is done, which means 1 stitch has been increased. Next is 5x, meaning pick up the stitches and work 5 single crochets one by one. Don't forget to weave in the starting yarn tail. After finishing, the adjacent stitch on the left side should be exactly the stitch where the marker is placed. Which is the position of the first stitch? You can check the stitch count. Start counting the stitches from the marker position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 stitches in total in this round. The total number of stitches for each round is marked in the corresponding table. We won't explain that later. The excess yarn tail from the starting chain can be trimmed off directly. Look! The second round of the arm is already crocheted. Because there are fewer increases, so the fabric tends to curl. Check the texture. The side where you can see horizontal bars below the stitches is the wrong side texture of the fabric. The other side is the right side texture. For the arm, the wrong side texture should be on the outside. That means after finishing the second round, make sure the side with those horizontal bars is facing out. Don't get this mixed up, everyone. Also, there will be a height difference at the beginning and end of spiral crocheting. This is normal. Continue to crochet the third round. Follow the chart. This round is to pick up the stitches. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch for 7 stitches. Note, from now on, unless otherwise specified, it always means to crochet by picking up the stitches. Before working, you still need to make a marker. Place the yarn marker like this on top of the working yarn. That is on the left side of the last stitch. Then make a single crochet. Don't crochet into the marker. Like this, the first stitch is now marked. Continue to work single crochets correspondingly, all the way to the right side of the marker. Everyone look! The third round is now completed. Continue to crochet the fourth round. The first stitch of this round is a DC3 bobble stitch. Before working, first place a marker. The method is the same as before. On the first stitch, first make an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook into the stitch. Pay attention not to insert into the marker. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the front 2 loops. 1 incomplete double crochet is done. Continue in the same stitch. Make the second incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook into the stitch. Each time you insert, don't insert into the marker. The following steps won't be repeated. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the front 2 loops. The second incomplete double crochet is done. Using the same method, continue in the same insertion position. Make the third incomplete double crochet. Once done, yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook in one go. That's a DC3 bobble stitch. Correspondingly, there's also a V shape formed by 2 yarns at the upper right side. This is the stitch of the DC3 bobble. 1 stitch also means 1 stitch. Next, make 6 single crochets 1 by 1, which means completing the stitch to the right of the marker yarn. Pay attention. Don't make the next single crochet too loose. Now, the 4th round is completed. The next row in the chart says R521, 7x, which means from round 5 to round 21. Each round is worked with single crochets 1 by 1. That is, each round consists of 7 single crochets. First, crochet round 5. Before working each following round, you need to place a marker first. This won't be mentioned again later. On the bobble stitch, after completing the first single crochet, continue picking up stitches. Work single crochets 1 by 1. Finish this round. Now, round 5 is completed. When counting rounds, avoid the starting position. Count 1 vertical line of horizontal bars. How many horizontal lines there are? That's how many rounds there are. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. So here we've worked 5 rounds. If the yarn marker is too short, feel free to pull it up a bit. Next, Please refer to the demonstration of the third round. Continue working single crochets evenly. Keep going until you finish round 21. The swatch here has already reached round 21 with one stitch remaining, since we'll be using a different color for round 22. Therefore, before working the last stitch of round 21, take out the yarn in the corresponding color for the next round as a preparation. Then, on the last stitch, first make an incomplete single crochet stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch. Pull the yarn through. This is an incomplete single crochet stitch. Next, hold the new yarn in your left hand. Draw the new yarn through all loops at once. Leave a small tail at the beginning. Slightly tighten the original yarn. And leave a small tail before trimming it off. Like this, the last stitch of round 21 is completed. And the color has been switched. Continue with rounds 22 to 25. Refer to the form. These rounds are worked with the new yarn. Continue working even in single crochet. When working round 22, weave in the yarn tails as you go. After completing the first stitch, gently pull the yarn tail to make sure it's not too loose. Now, I've completed the first 25 rounds for the arm. After finishing, stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Leave the yarn tail for now. Cut and remove the marker yarn. Like this, one arm is done. Next, follow the same method to crochet another identical arm. Here I've already finished. I didn't change colors for this arm. You can proceed with the color change as usual. Leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters at the end as well. Then fasten off the yarn. I won't repeat the demonstration after completing the arm crocheting. Next, let's learn the crochet method for the left boot and left leg. Pay attention, here refers to the actual left and right when wearing. The left boot also starts with a magic ring, and is crocheted in spirals along the starting yarn loop. After finishing the left boot, continue picking up stitches inside the corresponding rounds. To crochet the left leg, the new stitch techniques used are SC3-in-1, SC3 tog, half double crochet and DC3-in-1. Next, please watch my demonstration. Since the starting chain and first two rounds of the boot are exactly the same as the arm, please refer to the arm demonstration and cast on by yourself and crochet the first two rounds. Here, I've already crocheted it. Note, the boot is worked with the right side texture facing out, which means the side with horizontal lines is on the inside. opposite to the arm texture direction. Also, use a yarn tail to mark the first stitch. After finishing the first 2 rounds, continue crocheting the third round. This round is 2V, 5X, meaning you start with 2 SC2 and 1 S. Once done, work single crochets into each stitch accordingly, and finish the entire round. Like this, the third round is completed. Continue with rounds 4 to 6. Here, I've already finished it. No new stitch techniques are used in these rounds. For the fourth round, start with 2 SC2 and 1 S. Then work 7 single crochets. Rounds 5 to 6 are worked even in single crochet. Please refer to the chart, and complete the first 6 rounds on your own. The method is simple, so I won't demonstrate it. When counting rounds, avoid the starting position as well. Count each of these raised textures as your guide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After completing the first 6 rounds of crocheting, continue to crochet the 7th round. Refer to the chart. Start this round by crocheting 2 single crochets. Once done, W stands for the SC3 and 1, meaning you'll crochet 3 single crochets into 1 stitch. 1 stitch, 2 stitches, 3 stitches. This way you've completed a SC3 and 1, which effectively adds 2 stitches. Continue even for 8 single crochets. Finish this round. Now, the 7th round is completed. Continue to the 8th round. Refer to the chart, which means start with 3 single crochets even. Then crochet 1 SC3 and 1, meaning into the same stitch. Crochet 3 single crochets. Once done, continue with 9 single crochets even. Like this, the 8th round is completed. Continue to the 9th round. Refer to the chart. Start with 3 single crochets even. Once completed, M stands for SC3 tog. Work an invisible decrease here. which means picking up the front loops of the next 3 stitches on the left side. Work 1 single crochet. The front loop refers to the strand on the front side of the stitch. Be mindful not to make it too loose. Like this. The SC3 tog is completed. There's also a V-shaped stitch corresponding to the upper right, which effectively decreases 2 stitches. Next, start from the adjacent stitch on the left side. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch correspondingly. Finish crocheting this round. Pay attention. This is the insertion position for the 3rd stitch of the SC3 tog. You should start hooking from this left side. Everyone, please don't make a mistake here. Like this. The 9th round is now completed. Continue to crochet the 10th round. At the beginning of this round, work 2 single crochets first. Then work 1 SC3 tog, which means like this. Simultaneously pick up the front loops of the 3 stitches on the left side and make a single crochet. Like this. The SC3 tog is now completed. Continue working single crochets evenly. Finish this round. Now, the 10th round is completed. After completing the first 10 rounds, use a large pair of scissors from home. Cut 2 shaping wires about 25 centimeters long. It's okay if they're slightly longer. First take one end of one of them. Bend about 2 centimeters. Here I made the bend a bit longer. Then wrap a pipe cleaner from the top upwards. Once the bent part is wrapped, continue wrapping upwards for about 1 centimeter. Then wrap back down. Once wrapped, it's done. Then using the same method, bend the other shaping wire as well. And wrap the pipe cleaner around it, set aside. I won't demonstrate it again. Next, in the crocheted fabric, stuff a small amount of fiberfill. Not too much is needed. After stuffing, insert the shaping wire and pipe cleaner. Continue crocheting from round 11 to 28. Stuff fiber fill as you go. Stuff firmly. Too much will make it stiff. Too little will make it lose shape. No new stitch techniques are used in these rounds. Please refer to the earlier demonstration and follow the chart accordingly. I won't demonstrate it. Now, I have completed the first 28 rounds. When you are crocheting, starting from round 17, the increase placements should be roughly at the back, with the toe at the front. Pinch it flat to determine the position like this. The increase placements in the chart are for reference only. Everyone can adjust according to their actual situation. After finishing the first 28 rounds, continue crocheting round 29. Refer to the chart for instructions. This round is all worked in the front loops. Work even with single crochets. Following this method, finish this round. Note: starting from round 29, no need to add fiber fill for now. Once completed, continue with round 30. This round is also worked in the front loops. Refer to the chart. Start with 6 single crochets. Once completed, T stands for half double crochet. Start with 1 half double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all loops at once. 1 half double crochet is completed. There's also a V-shaped stitch on the upper right side. Continue on the adjacent front loop on the left side. Work the second half double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through all 3 loops on the hook. The second half double crochet is completed. Next, FW stands for DC 3 in 1, meaning working 3 double crochets into the same insertion position. First, pick up the adjacent front loop on the left side, work a double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. 2 loops remain. Yarn over again, draw through all loops at once. 1 double crochet is completed. Continue at the same insertion position. Work the second double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over one after another. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat twice. 1, 2. The second double crochet is completed. Using the same method, continue at this insertion position. Work the third double crochet. Like this. One DC3 in 1 is completed, which is equivalent to adding 2 stitches. Next, work 2 half double crochets again. After completing, work the remaining single crochets evenly. Finish this round. It should be noted that the position of the DC3 in 1 should also be roughly at the back. Now, the 30th round is completed. You can see that, after finishing, there are 2 horizontal bars inside here. Continue crocheting the 31st round. This round is worked normally by picking up stitches. The swatch is now completed. Since no new stitch techniques were used, please follow the chart accordingly. Similarly, the SC3 in 1 should also be placed at the back. After finishing, you'll need to crochet a few extra stitches to bring the yarn to the side of the boot. Just avoid placing them at the front. The stitch count in the chart is also for reference only. Feel free to adjust based on your actual needs. Once completed, stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 15 centimeters. Trim off the excess. The marker yarn can also be removed. Then proceed to bind off. Thread the yarn tail onto a sewing needle. Like this, draw through the adjacent stitch on the left side. Then insert into the center of the last stitch. Pull it inside. Adjust the tension. Like this, fasten off is now completed. Hide the yarn tail inside. Be mindful not to tuck it under the horizontal bars below. You can also tuck in all the yarn tails. Up to this point, the left boot is now completed. Continue crocheting the left leg. Refer to the form for instructions. The first round is to pick up all stitches. For the 28th round of the left boot, work half double crochet into the back loop of the stitch. First join the yarn. You can flip the top of the left boot like this, and locate the first stitch of the bottom horizontal bar. If you can't find it exactly, just approximate. Then, starting from this stitch, count the stitch count for the 28th round moving to the right. Count until the last stitch. Insert the hook upwards through the last stitch's horizontal bar like this. Take the corresponding color yarn. Pay attention, I'm using random yarn here for easier viewing. Pull the new yarn through. Leave a small tail at the beginning as well. Then make one chain stitch to secure. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Gently tighten the tail. Joining is complete. Start working the first round. Refer to the chart. Inside the parentheses is 3x, K. K means to skip one stitch. The content inside the parentheses represents a group of stitches. Asterisk 3 means 3 groups, which is 3 single crochets and skip one stitch. As one group, you need to work 3 groups. First, work 1 single crochet in the same insertion position, where you join the yarn. Hide the yarn tail as you crochet. When done, pick the 2 horizontal bars on the left side one by one. Work 1 stitch for each. Then, skip 1 stitch, which means skip 1 horizontal bar. Start from the second horizontal bar on the left. Continue with the second group. 3 single crochets. Skip 1 stitch. Continue with the third group. 3 single crochets. Skip 1 stitch. After completing the 3 groups, work 2 single crochets at the end. Once done, check the stitch count. Also, you can notice that the legs are showing the wrong side of the fabric texture. Like this, the first round is finished. Continue crocheting rounds 2 to 7. Here the sample swatch is already completed. The stitch patterns for these rounds are simple. Please follow the chart to crochet accordingly. I won't demonstrate them. After finishing the first 7 rounds, continue with the 8th round. For this round, first crochet 6 single crochets with the original yarn. Then it's time to change colors. So, crochet the first 5 stitches first. For the 6th stitch, make an incomplete single crochet. Then take the new color you want to switch to. Pull the new yarn through all loops at once. Leave a small tail at the beginning. And also leave a small tail of the original yarn before cutting it off. Like this. The 6th stitch is also completed. And the color change is done. Continue crocheting the remaining stitches with the new yarn. Gently tighten the yarn tail. Like this. The 8th round is now completed. Continue with rounds 9 to 18. I've already finished those parts. Among them, you'll also need to switch colors during the 17th round. Start with 8 single crochets. Then work an incomplete single crochet on the 9th stitch, and pull through with the new color. Then complete the remaining stitches with the new yarn. The method is the same as round 8. The stitch patterns for the other rounds have already been explained. Just follow the chart accordingly. I won't demonstrate it again. After completing 18 rounds, continue crocheting a few more single crochets. Adjust the starting position to a point roughly centered on the inner thigh. Mindful. This is the left leg, so the toe faces to the right, with the inner side facing towards you. The stitch count for adjustments in the chart is for reference only. You can adjust based on the actual situation. After finishing the crocheting, stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters. Cut it directly. This way, the left leg is finished. After completing the left boot and left leg, Continue with the right boot and right leg. The right boot also starts with a magic ring, crocheted in spirals along the magic ring. After finishing the right boot, continue on the inside of the corresponding round. Pick up stitches and crochet the right leg. Next, please watch my demonstration. First, crochet the right boot. I've already finished this part. Everyone can first refer to the explanation of the first 28 rounds of the left boot. Crochet the first 28 rounds of the right boot by yourself. Then follow the table. Complete rounds 29 to 31. After finishing, continue crocheting rounds 32 to 34. Round 32 is the same as round 29 of the left boot. Pick up the front loop only for all stitches. Work even with single crochets. Round 33 is also picking up the front loop only for all stitches. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Round 34 is to pick up the stitches and crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. Please refer to the table. Watch the demonstration of the last few rounds of the left boot for reference. Complete the first 34 rounds on your own. After finishing, continue with a few single crochets. Adjust the starting position to the side. Same as before. The exact number of stitches depends on your actual work. Once done, refer to the finishing method of the left boot. Fasten off. I won't demonstrate it this time. Once the right boot is finished, continue with the right leg. The first round is to pick up all stitches. Work back loops of the stitches from the 31st round of the right boot. The crochet method is roughly the same as for the first round of the left leg, except the stitch count is different. Refer to the demonstration of the first round of the left leg, and join the yarn to continue crocheting. Note that the joining position is from the first stitch of the bottom horizontal line. Count back the stitches of round 31. Join the yarn on the last stitch. Remember to insert from the bottom up. Then start crocheting. Now, I've completed the first round. Next, please refer to the chart and finish all the remaining rounds for the right leg. I finished crocheting. During the crochet process, if you encounter a color change, please refer to the left leg color change demonstration. I won't demonstrate it again. After completing all the crocheting, crochet a few more stitches. Adjust the starting position to the inner middle of the thigh. For the right leg, point the toe to the left, and the side facing you is the inside. Don't cut the yarn after finishing, like this. That's all for the right leg. After completing the legs crocheting, continue with the body and head. When crocheting the body, first join the two legs together. Then continue crocheting upwards in spirals. Crochet up to the corresponding position, and attach the arms. After finishing the body, continue crocheting upwards for the head. The new stitch technique used is SC2 tog. Next, please watch my demonstration. First, connect the two legs. According to the table here, connect the left leg with 3 chains from the right leg. The right leg is the one without cutting the yarn. Hook 3 chains here. Then take the left leg. In the adjacent stitch on the left side of the last stitch of the left leg, make a slip stitch. Insert into the stitch. Yarn over. Draw through all loops on the hook in one go. The slip stitch is done. This kind of V shape. Is the braid formed by the slip stitch? This slip stitch does not count as a stitch. Tighten. Like this. The legs are connected. Next, work the first round. First, make one beginning chain. The beginning chain does not count as a stitch. Tighten. Work one single crochet in the insertion position of the slip stitch. Mark it. Then pick up the stitches and work single crochets correspondingly. Work all the stitches on this leg. After completing, work single crochets in the chain stitch position of the connection. Crochet by picking up the strand above the braid. This braid may not be very visible. Make sure not to miss any stitches. Do not make the single crochet at the connection too loose. Leave the reserved long yarn tail on the outside. Do not handle it for now. Continue working the remaining 2 stitches. After completing the chain stitch position, work single crochets on the other leg. Start the first stitch from the adjacent position on the left side. Pick up the stitches and begin crocheting. Work all the stitches on this leg. After completing, crochet single crochets on the other side of the chain stitch. Insert into the same insertion position of the single crochet below. And crochet. That is, crochet 3 single crochets here. If you can't find the exact position, just estimate. The first round is now completed. This round joins the two legs into one big round. After completing, twist the shaping wire in the middle of the two legs. Continue to crochet the second round. I have already finished crocheting. This round is worked even with single crochets. After completing, continue to crochet the third round. Refer to the chart. First, crochet 8 single crochets. After completing, A stands for SC2 tog. You also need to do an invisible decrease here. That is, pick up both front loops of these two stitches at the same time. And crochet 1 single crochet. First, pick up the front loop of the left stitch. Then pick up the front loop of the right stitch. If it's not easy to crochet, you can use a yarn needle first. To loosen these two front loops a bit before crocheting. Like this, the invisible SC2 tog is done. It's equivalent to decreasing 1 stitch. After completing, continue crocheting the corresponding number of single crochets. After completing, it's another SC2 tog. For the body and head, the SC2 tog stitches are all invisible decreases, meaning pick up both front loops together and make 1 single crochet. Another invisible decrease is done. Finally, work even with single crochets. Crochet all the way around. Like this, round 3 is completed. Continue following the form to complete rounds 4 to 21. These rounds need to be stuffed as you go. I've already crocheted it. After finishing, continue to crochet round 22. This round requires attaching the arms. First, align the body section front and back like this and press it flat. Find the stitch at the left and right folded point. Take another yarn tail to mark it. After marking, count the stitches on both sides. Do not include the marked stitch. The stitch counts should be equal. The marked positions on both sides are where the arms will be attached. After marking, work single crochets downward. Keep crocheting until reaching the left marker line position. Continue marking at the starting position here. Note: the stitch distribution for this round in the chart is for reference only. Connect the arms after completing. Take one arm. Start from the stitch adjacent to the left of the ending stitch, which means work one single crochet in each stitch. Don't make it too loose here. After completing, work one single crochet in the adjacent stitch on the body. Like this, the arm is attached. Continue working single crochets downward. Keep going until reaching the position of this yarn tail. After finishing crocheting, attach the second arm, using the same method as the first arm. Once completed, finish the remaining single crochets. Like this, round 22 is completed, and both arms are attached. Next, insert shaping wire into both arms. Measure the distance between the two arms. Cut a piece of shaping wire about 2 centimeters longer than this distance. I've already cut one here. Next, fold one end about 1 centimeter. Thread the other end through the body shaping wire. Insert the folded end into the arm. Then fold the other end. And insert it into the other arm. Like this. The arm shaping wire is installed. Next, crochet the remaining rounds of the body. Here, I crocheted to the 26th round, and one SC2 tog is left. Since we need to change colors in the next round, we'll start changing colors at the end here. After finishing the round, continue crocheting the remaining rounds of the body. No need to stuff fiberfill into the later rounds. Don't cut the yarn after completing. The method is quite simple, so I won't demonstrate it. After finishing the body, continue crocheting the head upwards from the body. The first round is to pick up the back loops, and crochet 7 SC2 in 1 stitches. Meaning the individual strands on the inner side of the stitch, which are called back loops. After finishing this round, continue following the chart to complete the remaining rounds. I won't demonstrate it. Pay attention. When you have 3-4 rounds left to crochet, start stuffing. Before stuffing, if the shaping wire is too long, you can cut off a bit, or bend it, as long as the top is roughly at the halfway point of the head. Then continue crocheting. After finishing the last round, remove the yarn marker. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 15 centimeters and then cut the yarn. Pull tight. Then close the opening. Thread the yarn tail onto a yarn needle. Then pass through each stitch's front loop one by one. Pull tight. This way the opening is neatly closed. Then tie a knot to secure. You can tie a few more knots, and then hide the yarn tail inside a few times. Like this. The head is finished. Finally, the underarm and the leg connection area. Sew them together respectively. Thread the reserved yarn tail onto a yarn needle. Use this small piece of yarn to sew up the hole here. There's no specific sewing method required. After sewing, tie a knot to secure it. Finally, hide the yarn tail inside the body a few more times. Like this. One side of the underarm is finished. Next, follow the same method to sew the other side of the underarm and the leg connection area too. I won't demonstrate it again.